My name is Siobhan Patterson. I go by Dogs Move. I go by Bonds. It's a lot easier to go by. If you're just now joining, you have no idea who I am. I kind of wanted to introduce myself and let you understand because I'm very passionate about the things that I talk about the things that I post. And integrity is a hallmark of how I move. I went to school to be a pastor. I literally dropped out of nursing school to become a pastor because I had a troubled teen life. I had so much just drama and pain and stuff, and I had been in and out of church. And the suicide of my best friend when I was 20 years old, and pulling up to the scene of where he had done that, and seeing the ambulance like basically spray his brains off of his car was a big wake up call for me. And I gave my life back to God for the 100th time and then went to church, right? But the only problem is that I took church so seriously. I took the things that they were teaching me seriously. I took it all to heart. I was like, okay, we got to live above reproach. We have to love everybody. We have to make sure that as leaders and Christians, that no one can say anything bad about us. And that doesn't mean that we're perfect, but that means that make sure that how you move, you're very intentional with the things that you say and how you treat people. And I took all of this to heart. Like they gave me the Christian message. I understood the assignment. I took it to heart. And knowing that I had such a crazy upbringing and so many stories that can relate to so many people, teenagers, juvenile delinquents, SA survivors, DA, domestic, yeah, DA survivors, single mothers, people who went through drug addictions, people who went through drug dealer phases. Like I went through so many different phases and experienced life from so many different perspectives. I thought, you know what? Uh, this thing, let me do this. Hopefully the sun doesn't kill me now. I thought this story has got to be able to help people more than, while they're on their deathbed or while they're healing. So I decided to go into ministry. And my years trained to be a pastor, you'll see that come out in the way that I talk to people online. While I have so much patience with people, why I'm willing to break things down, why I'm willing to educate, where most people will be like, sis, that's not your job. Why I move, it's because of the pastoral training. And it's because I had it in my head to always see this as a big picture and to see the life that I live as a ministry, as a way to teach and help people. So anywho, with that said, if you're just now joining here and you're wondering if I'm also a grifter or someone that goes back and forth or is just trying to get attention, I don't do this stuff for attention. I do this because I have a heart to lead and I have a heart to educate. And I hope to open as many eyes as possible. I share in my Substack and I share on my podcast my experiences as a Black woman in predominantly white spaces. My grandmother made it her business to integrate in any white space she could. So we were always moving into neighborhoods as the only Black family in the neighborhood. I was always one of the only Black girls in most of my classes. And so a lot of the up close, like the racism that I've experienced has been less from a like Black side of town, white side of town thing, and more of the microaggressions of not having a community and not having people that look like me and not having anybody go to bat for me or being singled out or being treated differently. And like I said, not having anyone to go to bat for me. So a lot of my experiences, the things that I share are not from a victim's perspective. They're not from a, woe is me, feel bad for me. It's, I want y'all to hear the situations that my friends, that my fellow like Toastmasters, that my coworkers, that my previous employers, all these people, when I share their stories, it's not to shame them and it's not to make myself look superior. They're to be cautionary tales to those of you who think that you are doing one thing when in fact you're not. And then it's also just a reminder that we all get to continue to grow and continue to heal. Okay, I'm warmed up now. The reason why I hopped on here today was because on my Instagram, I have this person that was messaging me, and I'm not gonna lie, they kind of made me feel uncomfortable because they have been blowing. They would like every single story. They would the second I drop a post, like a podcast, and I don't even have that many followers on most of my platforms yet. So as soon as like a podcast would go up, he'd comment like, "Hey, we need to talk," and then I go over to my IG DMs and see that he's waiting there like for me to open the message, because as soon as I respond, it's read or seen already. And so it was making me a little bit nervous. So I finally let them know, like, hey, why do we need to talk? I don't know you. Like, can you tell me, like, what, aside from being pushy and a little bit scary, my time is valuable. And even though I'm not a fan of capitalism, but I gotta eat. I'm a business owner and my time is valuable. So random people online asking for my time, I don't even give that much time to like people that are close to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, sir, if I were to hop on a call with you or give you my time, what is your intention? Like, what are we going to talk about? Like, what do we need to discuss? And then he took the conversation to Palestine. He's like, as you as a Black woman, can you support free Palestine? I was like, of course I can. And I didn't know if he's trying to get me to make a post about it or what, or just trying to like feel the air to see where I'm at. But like, you know, that's where the conversation went. And so now the relationship consists of them sending me Palestine videos and all kinds of like just random politics and stuff. I don't know if he wants me to make a post on it. I don't know if he's just trying to put me in the know because he doesn't think I know. But I need y'all to understand that people, even before I got more eyes on my content like I do now, thanks to Candlegate, my friends and family send me so many videos. And this is just for politics. When it comes to fitness and my fitness business, people send me so many videos like, oh, what do you think of this? Or da da da. And sometimes it's overwhelming. And then when there's no context, I'm like, so I have to sit here and watch all 100 videos people send me and kind of figure out, because there's no context. So I don't know if this is funny. I don't know if they're mad. I don't know if they want me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, sir, what did you want to talk about? It like, what do you want me to do with these videos? Like, what is your intention? And he said I was like, because what do you want me to do? Because I need you to understand, like, yes, I have a voice and you see me speak and make content on stuff that I'm passionate about, and that I'm doing my role to do what I can for this topic that I'm passionate about. I was like, I want you to go, you may not be a content creator, but you have a role. You can go do something. You can go actually talk in your community. You can go make friends. You can go join organizations. There are things that you can do. And I want you to do what you can do for the cause that your heart is passionate about. And I'm going to do what I can do for the causes that I'm passionate about and that I have the wherewithal and the means to do it. Because what I'm not going to do is burn myself out. I've been there multiple times in life. So yes, like I'm going to walk and chew gum at the same time. Yes, I'm pro Palestine, and there's only so much that I can do. And if what I can do right now is wake up the people that are closest to me, which is what I think all of us should have been doing this last election cycle, I think that is going to speak volumes. So anyhow, I was like, what exactly do you want me to do? And he's like, well, and he just started listing, because I was, I need a second. He starts listing a bunch of things like take down the oligarchs. And I was like, sweetheart, what does that mean to you though? Attack the oligarchs. I was like, okay, well, how do you want me to attack them? Just me? I was like, why are you only messaging me this stuff? I was like, what, like, I need you. I was like, this is a conversation that I think everybody who is in opposition of the current administration, or everybody that's to the center and left, or to the left, whatever, I think, including the third parties, liberals, leftists, moderate, like progressives, we need to be real. And this is what I told him. I was like, you're listing, what he was doing to me was sending me what it felt like a bunch of slogans and narratives. He's like, drink, like, universal health care, attack the oligarchs. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, what are the plans for that? Because when I remember a manager told me, don't complain if you don't have solutions. So I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about these things, but if you're going to be spamming and DMing people and just throwing them a bunch of stuff, I will converse with people who have substance and want to actually say words and move the needle, but just throwing words at me sounds like drain the swamp, make America great again. Okay, how? How are we making America great again? Okay, drain the swamp, how? Because when you start to break down what it means to enact these policies, then we can get somewhere. But oh Lord. But as of right now, us just, oh Lord, I gotta get back in the sun. But for us to just be like, I wish I had my DM so I could like read what they were saying. But the whole point of this is not to make fun of this person. It's the truth. Like I hear independents and I hear I'm a registered independent. I hear the third party voters. And what is the plan? Is my real thing. What is the plan? And right now, yelling at each other, and right now, like DMing me and just saying random stuff, like that's not a plan. Um, And I think the reason why we haven't been able to plan is because obviously what every side has suggested up until this point hasn't worked, right? Republicans, they don't know how to run a government. Oh my God. I don't even know if it's that they don't know how to run a government or that they take so much money from people to fuck over the people that voted them over that they just do really bad at it. And mainly because they see governing people as controlling people. But the other thing is, what was I going to say? So clearly, everyone up until this point has not had it figured out. So Republicans, obviously, when they govern, they run the economy into the ground every single time. Democrats are like, hey, we don't want to rock the boat too much. We'll give, marginalized communities some power, but like we also want to keep it where it's at because I have power. And then we have a third party that's like buck the whole system, topple it over. And the reason why I don't think that we've been able to fix this broken system or replace the system that is doing what it was built to do is because none of us are able to listen to one another. And I already know right now, just with that statement alone, people are like, you can't listen to racists, you can't negotiate with terrorists, and I'm with you on that. Not every conservative is a racist, though, believe it or not. Some of them just don't know any better because that's how we were brought up. And their identity is so tied to their tribe, or their identity, like most humans, is tied to their ego and how they see themselves, their ego, their perception of themselves, which is to be a good Christian person or be a good patriot. And so they have this idea that this is what it looks like to be a good patriot. And so there's a lot of cognitive dissonance and a lot of unlearning that has to take place. Sorry, went down a rabbit hole. So my question to the person that kept DMing me, just giving me random ideologies and random, how would you say this? Like I said, catchphrases was, what are we going to do? What is the game plan? What can we do to actually, he said, attack the oligarchs. I'm like, all right, so what's the plan? Is it through boycotting? Is it through hiring, taking legal action? Like, what is the plan? And then, like I told him, I was like, I can't, you please, like, I appreciate you seeing me as a leader and wanting me to wanting me to use my voice, but at the same time, y'all have got to stop looking at Black women to lead all of the movements. I'm a single mom, I'm a business owner, and I have kids, I have a life that I'm trying to live. So y'all sending me stuff saying, hey, speak about this, hey, you need to do something about that. Are you insane? Is also my last thing. Like, if you want to partner with something, and this is where I had finished with that person, I was like, hey, if you want to partner, or if you want to come up with some ideas that you think would be a great idea, start an organization, or if you want to start a community online, if you want to do something to mobilize, that's great. But you cannot just take the problems of the world and thrust them in my DMs without any solutions and expect me to do this labor of thinking how to come up with these solutions that are bothering you. And I'm not saying they don't bother me. I'm not saying I'm not affected or that I'm not as passionate about them. But as I like, sometimes it blows my mind how people see Black women as just these impenetrable forces that never get tired and can just carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and should without complaint. I can't be all things to all men, and I have no intentions. And what I told everyone, what I can say is this: there will come a time when I get into politics. I want to build my gym. I want to live my life. I want to build my business. I want to leave something to my kids and family, business, and whatnot. I want to get that before my life is ruined forever as someone that's going to be in the public eye. And I've always said, when I do get there, what I can tell you, I won't be a perfect human. I will not. Y'all are like, I love Jasmine Crockett, and people are saying that she's a horrible person for calling MTG beach blonde, butch, bad body, whatever. They're like, how dare she attack her? And I'm like, y'all, this is the only woman with enough ovaries to stand up on business and speak out for the people. And y'all are mad about her because she said a diss. Like, if y'all have never said anything wrong about people, like you've never looked at someone and judged their outfit or said, oh, they shouldn't be in the beach in that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, this has got to stop. This has got to, like, this is why we haven't gotten anywhere, because we've got a third party looking for a very, very perfect representative, which we still have not found, right? And they never will. You have Democrats that don't want to rock the boat too much because their political career means more to them than actually being a public servant. And again, as I mentioned, I'm never going to get started on the conservatives because they're not my people. I don't know much about them, and I don't like to speak on stuff that I don't know too much about. But I will say this: We got to stop looking for perfect politicians. We got to stop looking for people to be perfect and work with what we can. Work with who you can with what we can. Because we all loved Obama, and now that he's gone out of office, everyone pull out everything that he did wrong. There's not one person in history that, well, maybe Mother Teresa and like Harriet Tubman. But hell, you have some people who like, oh, Harriet Tubman shot her fellow man because they don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's perfect. And my message to y'all on this America Needs to Talk episode is like, I need y'all to take a look in the mirror for 2 seconds. Y'all are wanting me to do the work, you want everybody else to do the work. And then when the people do get up to do the work, you judge them for doing the work because they're not your idea of perfection. And I know a lot of us on the left or progressives left church and left this idea of being perfectionists because once you deconstruct and you decolonize, you realize how close perfection is to white supremacy. So why the fuck are we taking those same perfectionist standards and putting them on people who are trying to lead movements? We're never going to get anywhere like this. And it's so entirely frustrating to me. But it's getting hot, and I realize I'm not in the sun. You might not be able to see me. So I'm going to go ahead and clip this one. I'm going to post it. And thank you for being here, especially you, Chris. I'll see you. If you haven't already subscribed to the podcast, it is here on Substack, Siobhan Speaks Social. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. I've posted recent Substack updates about the whole Candlegate situation with Camp Callout and a very disappointing end to what was going to be a beautiful partnership and actually was going really well until they decided to not listen to the Black person in their ear telling them that move was not a good move. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all being here, and I'll see you next time.